no one noticed within the palace walls. The world's most beautiful woman was on her knees in front of a gold-plated toilet. Diana Spencer, the princess admired by millions, was throwing up 5 times a day. But what was truly shocking was why she was doing it. It was July 1981. When Diana Frances Spencer, at age 20, married Prince Charles in the world's most watched wedding, it seemed like a fairy tale had come true. 750 million people watched this moment. White silk taffeta gown, 7.6-meter train, the sparkle of the Spencer tiara. Everything was perfect, or so it appeared. Diana's wedding dress waist had been taken in again just 2 weeks before the wedding, 58 centimeters. The tailor was astonished. Losing weight this quickly isn't normal, Lady Diana. But Diana just smiled. No one knew that this was only the beginning. What do you see when you look at honeymoon photos? A smiling couple, turquoise waters, a luxury yacht. But if you had looked at Diana's diary, you would have encountered a completely different reality. Charles dropped Camilla's photograph from his cufflinks. On our honeymoon. At that very moment, something broke inside Diana. The magnificent corridors of Kensington Palace took on a completely different atmosphere at night. Diana had memorized every step of the stairs leading to the kitchen at midnight. She could find her way now without turning on the lights. She opened the refrigerator door. Cold light illuminated her face, that emptiness in her eyes. The blue eyes that once sparkled brilliantly were now completely empty. Chocolate, ice cream, cake, cheese, bread. She ate. She ate without feeling. She swallowed without tasting. Then she ran. She ran to the bathroom. And she did it. She did it again. I'm losing control, she whispered to the mirror, but at least this control is mine. The name of this disease was bulimia nervosa. 4 to 5 times a day, sometimes more, but she didn't know yet. This disease would nearly kill her. When morning came, Diana was perfect again. Her hair perfect, her makeup perfect, her smile perfect. She was waving in front of cameras, talking with children, visiting charities. Princess Diana, the first royal to shake hands with AIDS patients without gloves. Princess Diana launched a campaign for landmine victims. The world loved her. But Diana hated herself. In her wardrobe were hundreds of dresses. Each had notes on the label. Too tight, must lose more weight. Looked fat in photos. Her private secretary began to notice Diana's frequency of bathroom visits. After every meal, after every official banquet, even sometimes in the middle of interviews, Diana's doctor was giving serious warnings. If this continues, your heart won't withstand it. Your body's potassium levels are dangerously low. But Diana couldn't stop. It was no longer a habit. It had become an addiction. 4 to 5 times a day, sometimes more. Every moment of stress, every minute of pain. It was at this exact point that everything changed. June 1992, when Andrew Morton's book, Diana, Her True Story, was published, England was shocked. Buckingham Palace was shocked. Charles was shocked. The book contained Diana's confessions. I had bulimia. I was throwing up 4-5 times a day. I was self-harming. I attempted suicide. When I was pregnant, I threw myself down the stairs. The media went crazy. Princess in Hell, Diana's secret pain, royal bulimia shock. But the more shocking part was that with Diana's courage, millions of women started talking for the first time about eating disorders, about depression. Diana was receiving hundreds, thousands of letters. Dear Princess, I too suffer like you. I've been battling this disease for 15 years. Thanks to you speaking out, I shared it with my family for the first time. Another letter read, Diana, you saved me. I was about to commit suicide, but if you, a princess, are experiencing this pain, then I'm not alone either. November 1995, BBC Panorama Studio. Martin Bashir was sitting across from her. Diana was about to give the most watched interview in history. 23 million Britons were in front of their televisions. Diana, with her black eyeliner and elegant but simple outfit, was looking at the camera. There was now a determination in her eyes. Bashir asked, "Can you talk about bulimia?" Diana took a deep breath. "It's a very secret disease. You're harming yourself, but no one notices. I hid this for years because I was ashamed, because they thought I was weak. But now I understand that this is a disease, and asking for help requires courage." There was silence in the studio. The camera operator's eyes were filled with tears. Throughout my marriage, I felt worthless. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't beautiful enough. I wasn't thin enough. I wasn't quiet enough. This pain consumed me from the inside. But you haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. It was 1996. Diana was now officially divorced. She had lost the title of princess, but she had gained something: her freedom, therapy sessions, regular doctor checkups, support groups. Diana was now receiving treatment openly, not secretly. For the first time in 15 years, I didn't throw up for a whole day, she told her therapist. There were tears in her eyes. I know it sounds funny, but this is like winning an Olympic medal for me. Her treatment wasn't easy. There were days of relapse. There were stressful days. When Charles was officially seen with Camilla, it could have dragged Diana back to the old days. But this time it was different. This time, she knew how to ask for help. Her therapist, Dr. Alan Barker, said, "Diana, I'm going to tell you something. This disease is not your enemy. It's a symptom. The real enemy is the emotional abuse done to you for years." Diana's cheeks were wet with tears. "So how will I fight this?" "By speaking the truth, just like you're doing." August 1997, Paris. Diana's sudden death shook the world, but the legacy she left was far more powerful than her death. Diana's speaking about bulimia had created a revolution. In the 1990s, talking about eating disorders was taboo. But thanks to Diana's courage, thousands of women applied for treatment. Support hotlines for eating disorders were established. The NHS allocated more resources to these diseases. Schools began providing eating disorder education. But the most shocking thing was this: Diana's sons, William and Harry, kept their mother's legacy alive. Prince Harry said in a 2017 interview, "My mother didn't hide her weakness. On the contrary, she turned her weakness into her strength. Thanks to her, I can talk about my depression, my trauma, my pain. I owe this to my mother." We're in 2025. 28 years have passed since Diana's death, but her impact is still everywhere. Today, millions of people share their struggles with eating disorders on social media. Celebrities, athletes, singers, ordinary people. They're all walking the path Diana opened. Demi Lovato, "Diana is my hero. If she hadn't spoken, I couldn't have spoken." Lady Gaga, "I fought bulimia for 10 years. If it weren't for Diana's courage, I might not have been able to get treatment." Zayn Malik, "Eating disorders don't just affect women. I experienced it too." Diana was the first person to break the taboos. Wait a minute, don't miss this detail. Today in England, the Diana Award is given in Diana's memory. This award is given to young people working in the field of mental health. Thousands of young people are keeping Diana's legacy alive. Do you know what Diana's real victory was? Not being the perfect princess, not conforming to royal protocols, not being the media's darling. Her real victory was turning her fragility into her strength. In that gold-plated palace bathroom, on her knees, feeling like she had lost control, she was actually fighting her greatest battle. Every purge was a cry of rebellion. Every tear was a desire for freedom. And finally, she spoke. She spoke without fear, without shame. Yes, I'm not perfect. Yes, I suffer too. Yes, I'm wounded too. But here I am. I'm still standing. I'm still fighting. Now I'm going to ask you something. You. Yes, you. The person watching this documentary right now. You heard what Diana went through. You saw her courage. So what about you? Are you suffering too? Do you also feel like you have to appear perfect? Are you also carrying a burden you can't tell anyone? Diana's message to you is this: speaking requires courage, but remaining silent kills your soul. If you or someone you know is experiencing eating disorders, please ask for help. This is not a weakness. This is a disease, and it's a treatable disease. Beat Eating Disorders 080888010677. NEDA Hotline 1-800-9-312-237. In 2025, 30 years have passed since Diana's Bulimia Confession, but its impact is still resonating. Every day, somewhere, a young girl watches Diana's interview and thinks, "I'm not alone." Every day, somewhere, a mother asks for help for her daughter's health and remembers, Diana also asked for help. Every day, somewhere, a therapist tells their patient, Diana was a princess, but she suffered just like you, and she fought just like you. Diana Spencer, Princess of Wales, lost her life at age 36, but her voice, her courage, her legacy is immortal. From Diana's diary, 1992. Today, for the first time, I cried in front of a TV camera. For the first time, I showed my weakness. For the first time, I showed the real Diana. I was scared, very scared. But you know what? I felt free. For the first time, I felt like I had escaped from that golden cage. Maybe they'll call me crazy. Maybe they'll call me weak. But at least they'll call me real. And that is more valuable than a royal title. The camera comes to the final seconds of Diana's Panorama interview. Diana is looking at the camera. There are tears in her eyes, but she's smiling. "I want people to remember me," she says, "but not just as a princess, as a human being, as a human who suffered, laughed, fell, and got back up." The screen fades to black, but Diana's voice continues to echo.